First thing in the morning, I'm trying to find a spot to hide the elf, and I put him in one of my jars here for my bulk storage. And then I have a kefir, which I left out to warm up a bit, and then I blended it with fresh blueberries, about a half a cup, and just a little stevia, and it was pretty good. I just sipped it, no gut bomb. Little peaches for breakfast, one slice of Ezekiel bread, and 2 eggs. And then at lunchtime, I started making a green chicken chili in the Instapot, and that's what I had. One piece of Nature's Own bread with half a slice of cheese, some mayonnaise, and cabbage and tomatoes. And that's just an old sandwich from my youth. I liked it. And then dinner tonight was some ravioli with a little bit of simple sauce and cheese, green beans, and a mandarin. And then more cookies. Hi everybody, it is Tuesday evening and I'm signing in for Vlogmas. It is before bedtime now. I am exhausted and I would really like to talk with you during the day more before I'm exhausted. But today, between homeschooling and baking and doing all the things, it was just really hard to find the time today to do that. So hopefully, Lord willing, tomorrow we can find more time to converse and talk. Throughout the day, I feel like, oh, I'd love to talk to you about this. I'd love to talk to you about that. And yet, there's not the time at the moment. But anyway, really quick, I do want to tell you, this month, it's all about thinking about digestion. And I have been watching and reading so many doctors and books and articles about digestion and gut health and constipation issues and things like that. And I've been having a tough time getting back to good health. And I don't know what happened. I just hit a bit of a speed bump. And there's so many things that can cause that. Stress is one of them, and stress is going up. So I wonder if that might have something to do with it. Also, I think I came off of, like I said yesterday, the regimen of, like Miralax and things like that, aids to after surgery. I did, maybe too soon. So I'm back on. But today I did, I broke down and I bought some prune juice, which I'll try tomorrow morning. But I did get the light version, which is, I think Sunsweet puts it out. And I'm just looking at the sugar. I want less sugar. It has half of the sugar of the regular prune juice. And to my surprise, the light version actually has double the fiber in it as the regular concentrated one. So I'm going to try that. Yes, it does seem to have, I think, sorbitol and sucralose in it. So it does have some artificial sweeteners in case you're wondering about that. I'm going to try it anyway and see how that works. I did have some psyllium husks today. Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting, I was really happy with the way that the Colace works, which is actually a stool softener. And this is just stuff that, we all need to know. But I was listening to a doctor talk about a study where they had tested Colace with psyllium husk, and they actually said that psyllium husk worked much better. And I thought that was really odd because, well, a long time ago, I was taking psyllium husk, and I don't know why I stopped. So I thought, you know what, let me put that to the test, and I had that tonight. I had a little psyllium husk, and I had a high quality one. So if you buy one that's not as high quality, it'll tell you to take like 2 tablespoons of it in liquid, like 8 ounces of liquid. And the higher quality one, it costs a little bit more, but you take less. So it was like 1 teaspoon within 8 ounces of liquid. And so hopefully I'm going to see what that does. And then yes, on top of that, I'm still on Miralax. I know it sounds like I'm doing all these things, but for some reason, my gut is just giving me an issue right now. So one thing I did read about it, though, is that let's talk just for a second about constipation, because I know that everybody encounters this from time to time. And one of the things that they said could be the reason for constipation, which I don't think that a lot of people think about, is that they said that hypothyroidism can actually be a culprit that can keep peristalsis, through the movement of your gut, happening like it's supposed to, so it can slow it down. And not only that, but an overproduction of progesterone can also be the culprit. And I thought that was really interesting because my doctor, my hormone doctor, was saying that she was going to take me off of my progesterone, which I'm on 200 milligrams, which she put me on while I had a uterus before my hysterectomy. And she said, well, you don't need that anymore because you don't have a hysterectomy, or sorry, you don't have a uterus. And I said, well, please don't take it away because it helps me to sleep. And before that, I had a real hard time sleeping. So she said, well, leave it for now. When I see you in January, we'll talk about it again and reevaluate. Maybe I can drop you down to 100. And I didn't even think about this. I had no idea that it might have some sort of effect on the peristalsis, or the movement of the bowels through the colon. And so I'm wondering if, because I don't have a uterus, if maybe now I have too much progesterone in my body, and perhaps maybe that's the issue. So I'm going to sweat it out. I'm still taking it this month. I'm going to do the best that I can with all of my digestive aids. And then when I see her in January, I will bring that up to her and ask her if she thinks maybe that is what happened. And that's why all of a sudden I'm having some digestive issues. I mean, they're kind of ramped up a little bit. And so I will let you know. I will report to you what she says to me and how that goes. And I'm not giving any medical advice. I am just sharing my journey in case anybody is wondering, and it might help somebody to think about these things and talk to their doctor about it. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about all of that kind of stuff because that's life. I know it's not stuff that we like to talk about, but it is important. So, and if you are doing hormone therapy and you don't have a uterus, it might be something you want to talk to your doctor about. Also, the hypothyroidism, if you are encountering that. I am taking 90 milligrams of NP thyroid to aid with that, but who knows? Maybe I need to up it. Okay, so something interesting happened today when I was baking cookies. I thought this was funny, and I wanted to tell you about this. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay, so the food that you did not see was I had a few cookies today. I did. And I don't want to do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it tomorrow. What I'm going to do is make my sugar-free chocolate pudding that I use non-fat Greek yogurt in and like Cool Whip, and that is what I'm going to have instead, the chocolate one. So that way I'll stay away from the cookies. But anyway, this is what happened. Okay, so I was making cookies yesterday evening, right? And I usually use parchment paper to line the cookie sheets. And I put all the little, balls of cookies on it. And what I had was I will use a large sheet of parchment paper. And then that way, as I'm putting it into the oven, I can hold on to part of it with my thumb so that it doesn't move, right? Now, if I have the cookie sheets that have a lip on it, I don't have a problem. But sometimes I use a cookie sheet that's flat. So unless I'm holding that parchment paper, it could slide off. And that's a real problem. I want to make sure that never happens. But I was wearing my oven mitts upside down and I wasn't getting a good grip. And I switch them. When I put them in and I cook them, after a few minutes, I take them out and I switch the shelves. And then that way, I learned that when I was making a lot of chocolate chip cookies. I used to work in a middle school in a kitchen many, many years ago, like 25 years ago. And I was doing that so I could be close to our eldest when he was in school. And So we had to switch the cookies in the middle to make sure that they got a real even cook, right? And so I was doing that, and I didn't get a really good grip on it because I was using the little tiny sheets of parchment paper. And as they were half cooked, and as I took it out, they the parchment paper fell out into the hot oven, and it kind of like folded in on itself. So it kind of like did this, and all the cookies inside just kind of like squished together. And I got so mad. And I never like say bad words or anything like that, but I just kind of, I was so frustrated, and I said, "Sham it," right? And I don't know how many of you have seen that viral video, the Shamit Man. Look it up. It's hilarious. I mean, it's sad because this guy falls in his front yard. And I'm sorry for that. I'm not happy that he fell down because I'm sure he got hurt, and that's really sad. But he was so mad. The way that he expressed himself was hilarious. And he yelled, "Sham it," which I think he was trying to put two bad words together. And to me, I don't feel like that's saying two bad words. I feel like that's those saying that obliterates both of those bad words, and it cancels them out. So I don't feel bad saying that. But I yelled that out because I was so frustrated. And so he falls down on the ground. You got to look it up. I'm sorry, look up the Shamit Man and look at that video. It's like a 1-minute video. It is just hilarious. It's hilarious because he lets out all this frustration, right? He's on the ground, he's throwing the table, and then all of a sudden he collects himself. It's like he realizes he's on camera, and he says very calmly to his wife, you know what, Debbie, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to talk to myself alone, okay? And he walks off. And it is just the funniest thing. But anyway, yeah, so I yelled "Sham it," and I had to clean it up, and there were some salvageable cookies that were just, they were in the parchment paper, and I took them out. And I thought, I don't want to waste this stuff, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pie pan, and I'm going to just scrape this stuff into the pie pan. So at this point, they're half cooked, so the chocolate is all melted and swirled in it. And I just kind of like spread it out in the pie pan, and I cooked it for a few more minutes. And I thought maybe this will come out more like a Toll House or something. And then, but it was swirled. And so I cooked it, took it out, cooled it, right? And you were able to break it off into pieces, kind of like bark. And so when it cooled off, you guys, that was the best stuff ever. And I thought about it, and I thought, what would be really neat is if I did this intentionally and made it look nice in the pan, and then once it was cooled, maybe line the bottom of it with a little thin layer of chocolate, and I could even maybe sprinkle some peppermint candies on top or something. And I told my husband, I think I'm going to try this on purpose because it's so good. And let's just call it Shamit, right? We're just going to call it Shamit. And that Shamit is so good. And I don't know. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I don't think it's bad words. I just think it's kind of funny. But anyway, it's Christmas Shamit, and I think I'll probably make it again. I'm going to make it on purpose and see if it's pretty good. But I don't want to eat it. So again, I'm making my sugar-free pudding tomorrow. But anyway, yes, I had some Shamit today, and it was enough to say, I want to say I had like 3 cookies today. And so, yeah, that was something that I'm going to have to pay for. But tonight, I went to the store, and it hit me that lately it's been so busy that I had not been making home cooked meals like I need to do a little bit more. And so I did that tonight, and we had some what was it? Ricotta and spinach ravioli with a little bit of simple sauce on it and some Parmesan cheese, and then green beans and sourdough bread, and what else? I'm trying to have a little bit of fruit too for the fiber. I really want, I know it sounds like a lot to some people, but right now, because of what I'm going through digestively, I don't know if digestively is a word, I don't know, but digestive wise, I want to try to have at least maybe 4 fruits a day, 4 to 5, and maybe that'll help, you know, get things rolling again. But so then I had a mandarin. But anyway, that was our dinner, kind of simple, and I want to do more cooking at home and keep us home and clean things up a little bit and stop going out so much. So anyway, that's how it went. I hope you had a really good day today, and it was just a funny day. You know, it was a little bit busy, but really good. So that's the end of this vlog right now. I will see you guys tomorrow. Right now, I've already taken my progesterone, so I am a little sleepy. It makes me sleepy. So I try not to edit these videos when I feel like this, because I'm more apt to make a mistake. So anyway, forgive me if I do. I'm going to do my best, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, thanks for coming along with me, and I'll see you bright and early in the morning. Bye, guys.